Having fun with the soundboards, guys?
Yes.
We gotta entertain ourselves somehow.
Yeah.
Considering we've seen all of this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Gee, it sure is boring.
Okay, it's letting me skip now. Okay, we're good.
My boy.
And Snake is missing.
We could also just do this.
Mmm.
And this, yep, doesn't matter, so.
Yeah.
How about the casino on beat?
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They knew it, they were there, so was Lotus. She was like,
Hey.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
I'm just not seeing it.
Wait. Okay, there we go. Probably doesn't
No,
matter.
that's all right.
but-
Let's go, June.
Junpei tugged June's arm and led her quickly back toward the stairs.
Was that okay? You don't think we should have listened to her?
No,
I've been playing Pokemon Masters like since we started, and my phone power is at 26%.
Oh no!
I wonder how that happened.
We should be looking for Snake.
Huh.
Well, where should we
I
go
had to
next?
pull
really
pity
like-
on Penny. I tried so hard, but did not succeed.
Let's go back downstairs
Tried
and
so
check
hard
out
and
that
got so
hallway
far,
with
and
all the
then in
doors.
the end, nothing really mattered.
Yes.
Oh,
And in the end, my battery power died.
We will let Ace
why
handle
don't we
it.
just leave this area to Ace? We can go somewhere else.
I don't mind. But where?
Well, let's see.
We didn't go to the first class
Let's go
cabin
check
yet.
out the first class cabin.
Okay, I'm coming with you.
They quickened their pace and headed for B deck. Outside of the first class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall, blah blah blah. We will leave her alone. Something told Junpei that Clover probably wasn't in much of a mood to talk. He leaned over and whispered quietly to June.
Maybe we should leave her alone.
Yes, I think you're right.
They turned and walked quietly down the stairs. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile.
So, where do you think we should go next?
We have gone everywhere. We go back to
Let's
the
head back to the
bedroom.
large hospital room.
Alright, that's probably the best idea.
Together they ran down the stairs.
Hey, wait. That's
That's my favorite one.
We will walk away without saying anything, just because it's different. Junpei turned around and walked away from Santa.
I doubt we'd learn anything from him anyway.
Jumpy?
No, nothing. Let's go, June.
This is how you do visual novels. On the second run through, you just do whatever you didn't do before. Junpei took June and left the large hospital room. Where would they go next? They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found. Blah 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 blah. We will say that Lotus is right. It wasn't pleasant, but she was right. There wasn't any way that the numbers worked out. If one group was 4, the other group would always have a digital route that didn't match a door. When Seven spoke, his voice
Yeah, that
was
rhymed.
strained.
Then you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then
No,
What's so cool?
To just sacrifice someone?
Blah, 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 blah.
Thank God for the skip option.
Real.
For real.
And I gotta say, I do actually kind of like how it's, like, essentially just a fast forward rather than just a straight up skip. Because then you can, like, skim over it while you're going through it, you know? And just, like, have a little refresher.
Yeah, that's what most skip buttons are.
Yeah. Well, the ones in Type Moon visual novels are just straight up skip buttons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we went through door 8 before, so what do we want to do now? You know, I'm gonna take a... I can't. Never mind. I wanted to take a look at the flowchart just to see, like, where each branch goes, but... let's go with door 3.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Huh?
Damn it.
Why?
Because it's impossible. If we split
Okay, then.
ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options.
Santa began to explain.
Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7, and 4, 6, 7 go through door. Option B,
Yeah.
4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Option C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait.
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams, 358 and 467. Plan B divides into 2 teams, 457 and 368. Plan C divides into 2 teams, 367 and 458.
But that means
There was one thing they all had in
5
common.
and 6 can never be on the same team. If we want all 6 of us to go through a door, then June and I can't go into the same one.
June and Junpei had been friends since they were when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do?
You were already.
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time?
You've been separated before!
Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you gonna do? 7 or 8? Time to choose.
Okay, I get it. Junpei thought hard.
First time.
Okay then. We went through 8 last time, so it's 7.
Okay. Fine. I'll go with door 7.
Okay, 7 it is.
Yeah.
All right then. That means June's got to go through 8.
Huh? Why?
June's face was blank and confused. Santa muttered to himself and turned to Junpei.
Ugh, Junpei, you figured it out, right? Can you explain it to her?
Okay, so, June, if we want all 6 of us to go through a door...
Junpei chose his words carefully. When Junpei finally finished, June looked as though she was about to cry.
Oh no. You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Junpei felt just as June did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order
We're
for
gonna swallow more than that when you're done with you.
Oh my god.
In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
she didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
How are we gonna get through the next set of doors if we don't all meet back up?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch. He's not gonna end this game.
Yeah. June said nothing. Tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod.
Yes. Promise?
Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment. God damn it.
You guys are done, right?
Santa VC, you're being heterosexual right in front of my salad.
He stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 8 and Clover can take 7. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Clover, 7, and Junpei walked toward door 7. Santa, Lotus, and June headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. 7 took a deep breath.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
Womp, womp, womp. Overtime.
It's open.
A narrow hallway stretched out before them. 7 and Clover leapt through the door.
Let's do this!
Hurry!
The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators in the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his right, toward door 8. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. Come on, guys, we don't have time for this.
We get it, you're like each other.
She turned and looked toward him.
I don't think you guys
You're
get it.
painfully straight.
They nodded.
June.
Okay, we know that's not true about
Jumpy.
Junpei.
Yeah. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing,
Akane
Junpei?
is just single target sexuality.
Yeah.
Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door.
Which is a shame because the target is this.
He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
Only 81 seconds left! No time to waste, guys! Let's get moving!
7 led the way down the hallway. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could.
That wasn't what I was hoping it would be.
After what
I was
seemed
trying
like
to find something that sounds fast.
After what seemed like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hall.
Look! The door on the left! I can see the dead!
There was no time to rest or catch their breath. All 3 slammed their hands in quick succession over the scanner panel on the dead. Still trying to catch his breath, 7 leaned heavily against the wall.
It stopped. It stopped.
His smile seemed forced and a little crooked.
This is the second time we've gone through one of these numbered doors, but whew, you never really get used to it.
He stood up straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some of the sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that.
What? What the hell did you just say? Say it again! I dare you!
You have no...
You little... You wanna die?
I'd like to see you try.
Oh my god, guys!
Fucking brat, alright, let's go!
Guys!
Hey, calm
Almost
down,
threw
guys.
hands with a
This isn't
12-year-old.
time for this.
Literally!
It's not gonna do us any good.
Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and the puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced.
Wait here for a minute, alright?
Of course
I'm
not.
gonna go see if there are any other doors.
They didn't respond, but Junpei wasn't in the mood for a conversation anyway.
We just came through this door. And of course it's shut tight.
There's a short hallway on the left here, and an iron wall. I doubt I can get through it.
At last he gave up and returned to Seven, who was tapping lightly on the wooden door.
This door's the only option we've got, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
I
Hey,
remember
something's
nothing about
written
this
on the
one.
door. On that iron plate.
It says operating room. If this thing's telling the truth, there could be body parts inside here.
Well, this is probably not going to be pleasant.
Something about it made Junpei feel nervous.
Well, there's no point to standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us.
Seven grabbed the brass knob and slowly opened the door. The creak of the hinge sounded like the groan of an old woman.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing.
A chill snaked its way down Junpei's spine.
Let's just go.
Quickly, he gathered what courage he could and took the first step into the room. Seven followed, with Clover right behind him.
Huh?
Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a screen.
What the hell is this?
Why don't we take a look?
Hey, Clover!
Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to peer around the screen. Her scream nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums.
What?
Clover!
He and Seven ran toward Clover to see what had frightened her.
Hey, what's wrong?
They rounded the screen, and the cause of her outburst was immediately clear.
What the hell is this?
It's Resident Evil 8.
Is this a corpse?
I just watched a video about that scene the other day.
Oh, I hated that place. So I have a big fear of mannequins moving like that. And dolls and stuff, specifically in like horror settings. And so that was the worst.
Yeah, Jacob Geller has a really good video about like that scene and like autopsies and stuff.
Yeah.
It was good. I watched it the other day. It was something that looked kind of like a human, lying across some sort of bed. No, not a bed. An operating table. The table sat on a rusty steel lift, and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down on it from the ceiling. That is the wrong
no.
shone.
It is.
We should probably take a closer look.
Yeah.
Slowly, they approached. As they got closer to the body, it became clear that it wasn't a body at all. You couldn't see the ball joints before?
This is...
I think he needs to get
That's just
glasses,
a
but he
huge
refuses
doll or
because he thinks they
something.
make him look like a dork.
Bro, get contacts!
He doesn't want to put
Yeah.
things in his eyes.
Yeah, do you know how hard it is to put contacts in every fucking day?
I never
I mean, I
had
used
a
to
problem
do
with
that.
it.
And some people have like a natural like I'm pretty sure I have the natural, like, you literally cannot. It just does not work.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have seen that. But me personally, I never had any issues with it.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues trying to, like, actually get my keep my eyelid open and put the contact in. Like, I had to look all the way up to do it. And it's hard to get the lens centered when you do that.
Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly, she approached the operating table and looked as intently as possible, from as far away as possible, at the thing.
The thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing. Junpei could see her relax.
You're right. It's only a doll.
Who's the imposter in this group of three?
Man, it really scared me.
I won't say. No, I shan't say.
She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. Seven smirked.
Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it! Don't you start with me, fatty.
Oh my
You want a
god.
piece of me, short stuff?
Would you two knock it off?
Yeah, bring it on, you whale!
Hey, guys, not again, okay? Seriously, knock it off. Jeez. Anyway, it looks like he's got something the two of you could stand to have a little more of. I'm talking about a heart.
Huh? Oh, this? You mean on his chest?
Yeah.
That is where a heart is. It was set a little higher than normal for a human body, but from the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt that it was a heart.
Why would there be a heart in a doll?
I don't think it's a doll.
You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Or maybe it's got more personal uses?
Bro, Seven's grin was more than a little perverted. This one certainly doesn't look like it's for that.
Yeah.
Clover.
It doesn't have a crotch.
Yeah. Clover glared at him.
Anyway, how about we take a look around this place? Let's go.
Okay.
Sure thing.
We went on a little adventure.
Yeah, we're all in my kitchen right now.
I see.
Because I am literally in my kitchen. Making a salad.
Nice. Okay, let's do this. These dolls are really kind of creepy, you know. Hey, it says something here. John? You think that's this doll's name? Maybe. This thing is creepy. I wonder why it's on the bed. Hey, I wonder what this thing is. It says KG on the display. You think maybe it's a scale? Most likely. I don't get to look at the stuff. A creepy medical mannequin is lying on the bed. Apparently his name is John.
I bet his name is John Doe.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I bet you're about to kill him.
Huh? There's some sort of lid on this thing. Why don't you try opening it? Can't. There's no handle. I can't get under it with my nails either. An operating table. Do you think old operating tables looked like this? I have no idea. It's an old operating table, the medical mannequin is lying on it. There's something that looks like it could be a scale next to the operating table. It has something that looks like a lid on the front of it. Okay. A medical mannequin with its guts showing. Ew. Gross. Hey Junpei, there's a slit in this thing's chest. Yeah, sure is. There's something in there. Maybe we can get it out? Ugh, damn it. Stinking thing won't budge. It's stuck. Well, I guess you can't use force on this one then. We need something small that can fit into that little hole. Well, we have a scalpel. I don't like the look of it.
Is it grimy?
Yeah. None of this other stuff looks useful. Yeah, it's all pretty rusty. Nothing else? Okay. We can see this thing's internal organs. If we had something that can fit into those cracks, maybe we could take out some of the internal organs. There's something that looks like it could be a scale, blah blah blah. Okay. They use these for surgery, right? Let's see. Syringes, cups, a plate. There's a sort of scissor-ish thingy. We got forceps.
Rusty forceps.
Yeah. A bunch of surgical tools.
Sounds like a name. Maybe for an Ace Attorney character.
Oh, hello.
Convicted of malpractice. Rusty forceps.
Another medical mannequin? From the looks of it, this one's a chick. She has a name too. Is it Jane? No, Lucy. Poor thing. Looks like Miss Lucy only has a head and a left arm. Maybe we're supposed to gather all her parts? Lucy's head and left arm. Maybe something will happen if we gather all of her body parts. This bed
head
doesn't
and arm,
look
that's
very...
all you need for a good time.
This bed doesn't look very comfortable.
That was my inner Junpei.
There's some kind of device attached to the bed. It says KG on the panel. Is this a scale? Yes, we established that, Junpei. What's this thing? It's got these short iron legs. Maybe it's a heater? There's nothing inside it. Looks like it's probably a heater. There's nothing in it.
Back at my computer.
There's a pipe going outside. There sure is, Clover. Now we have located a torso. Barely looks like one, but okay. Maybe you're supposed to heat something like that gauze to kill the bacteria? There's a boiling thingy over there. There's nothing on the lid or in the drawers. The drawer is empty. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing in the lower shelf. There are a whole bunch of bottles on the shelves. They all look like medicine. They've got labels, but they're all big medical words that I don't understand. And that just brings me back to that. Okay, well... An old hard bed. Lucy's head and left arm. A thing for boiling tools to sterilize them. There's nothing in the drawer. That's a lot of medicine. I wonder if one of these is a laxative. Yeah, it sounds kind of gross, but I'm pretty sure every one of us has had the same idea.
Oh, this will help Seven with his incontinence.
No, that's the opposite of what a laxative does.
If we had some laxatives, maybe we could crap out the bombs Zero put in us. Unfortunately. Damn it. I don't know what medicine does what here. The shelves are packed with bottles of medicine I can't identify. Okay. Ew, that's gross. This is the chest. It's a woman's chest. 7. The heart's gone, but it's pretty hot. If that kind of thing turns you on, 7, you're a real creepo. scalpel that's not rusty. Seems like it was put here for a reason, huh? You think it's telling us to cut something? Yeah, I do. Are those scissors? They look kind of funny. No, that's probably a pair of kosher forceps. Surgeons use them during operations. They can hold blood vessels shut and keep tissue out of the way. We can use it to pull stuff out of small holes or something like that. Yep. No, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, there's a whole other section over here.
Yep.
Well, hold up. First and foremost... So we took the organ thingy out of the chest thingy. It's a lung, not an organ thingy. Huh? This part here on the back. It's all rubbery. You're right. So, it's a fake organ. Of course it'd be... Wait, what's Seven grabbing it for? Hey, it feels like there's something in here. You think we can cut through the rubber part? Let's try cutting this organ with a scalpel. Organ key. Incredible. There's a key in this organ. Found a key in an internal organ. Preparation. Cool, it's unlocked.
What are those hooks?
Yeah. Let's see if... Huh. A piece of paper. What's this?
That looks like an autopsy sheet.
Is this some kind of medical record? New material has been added to the file screen. What the hell are you doing? Don't you want to get out of here? But I'm tired! Whoa. There's a ray of light going through the beaker. And it's hitting the thing on the right. The white light on the top is glowing. Yeah, but the red, blue, and purple ones still aren't lit. There are 4 different lights, each one a different color: white, red, blue, and purple. Does this thing react to something and then the lights light up? Okay. Ah. It won't open. Looks like it's locked. There's a red plate on it. Do you think that means something? Yep, it's gotta go with that. A sink. The doctors and nurses probably washed their hands here before an operation. Nothing suspicious here. Nothing in the sink. That's got a key. It's locked, it won't even budge. Do you think this is the exit? Quite possibly. Oh, no, that's not
That door had a planet symbol on the lock.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Chemical rooms.
Oh my.
Blue liquid.
Drink it.
Red liquid.
Drink it. Glug glug.
There's a note on top of the table.
It says drink it.
Iron equals 1, salt equals 2, water equals 3. Carbon dioxide, question mark, ammonia, question mark, ethanol, question mark. What do you think this is a hint for? Maybe it's got something to do with this box? Hey, Jinpei, you think there are any slugs on this ship? Huh? Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them.
Wow!
Mean!
That's mean?
What's she pointing at? The label states NaCl. Salt, huh? Do you think 7 will shrivel up if we put it on him? What is wrong with this girl? Hey, you say something? There's a bottle of salt on the shelf. Na is sodium and Cl is chloride. So salt is made up of 1 sodium atom and 1 chloride atom. Yep, that is how it works. Junpei, there's a bottle of iron powder on the shelf. How do you know it's iron? The label says Fe. Fe stands for iron, right? It sure does. Something stinks. Is it coming from this bottle?
I was about to say, uh-oh, it's Seven's incontinence again.
It says NH3. Well, that, of course, stinks. It's ammonia.
Oh, I am very familiar with ammonia.
Hey, Junpei, there's dihydrogen monoxide on the shelf.
I'm just not gonna explain that. You guys know what I'm talking about.
What's this? Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. It says CO2. So it's a can filled with carbon dioxide. Rectangular table. I wonder, did people mix medicine on this thing? Okay, so iron 1, salt 2, water 3, carbon dioxide.
So, salt is water is H2O. It has 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, so I think it's the number of atoms.
Yeah, okay, so carbon dioxide is... I already forgot the fucking... CO2, right. Okay, so that's 3. Ammonia was... So that's 4. And ethanol... Ooh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink. What are you talking about? I'm talking about that bottle. It says C2H5OH, right? Okay, so that's 7... That's 9. It's ethanol. That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. It's pretty much what booze is made of. So, you're gonna drink it?
Again?
Nah, I won't. It might say that's what it is on the label, but there could be anything in there that did not bother you earlier.
Yeah, like, huh? You good there, son?
Okay, so that was 3. Fuck, I forgot the ammonia again.
To be fair, what he drank earlier
4.
was probably like a sealed bottle
True.
of alcohol.
Yeah.
So in other words, ammonia is made of... Yep. So,
meanwhile, these are probably handwritten labels.
True. The box is locked. Looks like you have to enter a passcode on the keypad to open it. I can only enter 3 numbers. E is for enter and C is for clear. Let's give it a shot. So that should be 3, 4, 9? Nice. We got the arm. It's the right arm of the body. It's kinda creepy. Oh. And a heart. A heart. This thing is super creepy. It ain't good for, this ain't good for the heart. I mean, I guess it's not.
Do you think we should go back?
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
Clover nodded and left.
I guess I'll let the resolve first.
Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that Seven wasn't following suit.
Hmm?
Hey, Seven, what's up?
Oh, well,
He looked up at Junpei distractedly, and then back down at the brown bottle he held cupped in his large hands.
Is that a medicine bottle?
I got curious about it. Here.
In response, Seven tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. He caught it and twisted it around to read the label.
Ethylene diamine tartrate?
Yeah, that's right. CDT.
What kind of medicine is that?
It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Why would they have something like that here?
Well, probably to clean stuff up.
Clean what up?
They clearly haven't been using it.
Yeah! This place is filthy.
Fuck if I know. Still, it looks like it's cleaned my brain up.
Junpei looked up from the bottle.
You remember something?
Yeah.
Seven nodded slowly and spoke.
Well, I remember a story about EDT. Happened about 50 years ago. There was this factory somewhere
good,
in
info
America making
dumping.
big
Yay!
old EDT
I was missing
crystals.
that.
They were making it to sell as an industrial strength cleaner, like I told you before. But a year after the factory started up, something strange started happening with the crystals they were building. Water molecules started attaching themselves to the EDT crystals. This made them into a sort of mutation of the original crystals, called a hydrate. Once the crystals turn into a hydrate, though, it's useless as a cleaner. The factory had to just dump the crystals. As a hydrate, they were useless. But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening in EDT factories everywhere, even ones nowhere near that first American factory.
Whoa, just like the glycerin.
They've been making crystals the same way, the same materials, the same equipment and environment. But now, all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate. In fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal. Even in EDT research done years before, they'd never gotten a hydrate. After it happened at the first factory, it just spread. It was like, how do you say it?
You mean like it was infected with a virus or something?
Seven shook his head.
No, not like that. It spread like wildfire. It showed up in labs that were completely isolated from the rest of the world. It even started happening to crystals that were completely sealed up. It doesn't seem like it could have been a result of this stuff coming in contact with other samples.
Then...
Well, I guess it was some sort of information. Like, the crystals were transmitting this information all across the world somehow.
What information?
How to make a new crystal. Someone had to tell this stuff how to do it, right? Like he just whispered to the EDT in the tank, hey, if you do this, you can take in water molecules.
Come on, man, that's just... I mean, who is this someone anyway?
Someone you can't see. Someone who exists all over the world.
You mean... like a god?
Or maybe the devil.
Seven grinned. As Junpei was trying to figure out what on earth he was going to say next, Clover's shrill voice pierced their room. The room.
What are you two doing over there? Stop wasting time and get over here!
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez.
Seven looked at Junpei.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. It might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
With that cryptic remark, he turned and left the room. Junpei was left behind to ponder what he'd just heard.
Information being transmitted invisibly. Could such a thing really happen?
I wonder why we've gotten two stories about this.
That crap isn't going to help me right
I
now.
sure wonder.
We need to figure out how the hell to get out of here first.
He took a deep breath, tried to clear his mind, and followed after Seven. Okay, so... let's see... Oh, right. Over in here... let's fill that up. Hey, it turned red! Forget about that. Didn't you hear that just now? have a leg.
You have an arm and a leg. Now
The
you
right
can pay
foot
for
of the
something
medical
insanely
mannequin.
expensive.
I guess it's a woman's foot, but damn, doesn't look hot at all. You gotta
At least we know Seven's not a foot guy.
Have you got a thing for feet, Seven? No! That's crazy. You're sure acting kinda shady.
God.
Okay. And then we want the blue. It's blue now. I think I heard another noise.
Dabba-dee dabba-dow. Dabba-dee dabba-dow. Dabba-dee dabba-dow.
And we have the other leg. This is the left foot of the mannequin. Do you think I'm better? What? Do you think my legs are skinnier?
Clover, you're like 16.
He's 19, to be fair.
Okay, fair.
And guess what we need to do next to get the purple door unlocked?
No
You will never
freaking
guess.
way, man.
No way. Whoa,
Doctor
color
Tate's
theory. I get it. You combine the red liquid and the blue liquid to make a purple one. Good job, Junpei. The purple light came on and I heard it unlock. I'm sure it's unlocked. The locker with the purple plate has got to be unlocked. Alright, let's see what happened. Where does it go?
Ooh, it's a waste.
This is a really big nose. It does look like that. That's.
I mean, it does look like a nose right there.
Yeah, that's no nose. It's a stomach. Oh, a stomach.
That's no nose. It's a space station.
That's no space station. That's my wife.
Alright, so we should have all of the parts.
Yahoo!
Okay, so it collected the 6 parts of the medical mannequin. So the ones we've got must be for Lucy, right? Yeah. Seems like it. Well, I
This
say
is
we
me
give
building
Lucy
my
her
gun
parts
plus.
back. Any objections? Nope. Agreed. Alright,
Did you
let's
just say me when I'm building my gun clock?
Yes.
Alright, let's get started. Combine! Hey, nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight? Weight? Yeah,
Oh.
well, you know how there's a scale on the side of the bed? Maybe we need to get the scale to a specific number. How are we gonna do that? I think we're supposed to swap her body parts with John's. Oh. Let's give it a shot.
Tomato.
Hmm.
Did you ever check the file that you got?
I did not.
Okay,
Operating
I bet the
instructions.
weight's on there.
Yeah, okay. The screen will display 2 medical mannequins. You can switch their body parts by selecting the part you want to switch out. Okay. So I need to...
I'll write down the weights in the chat. I'm ready.
I'll...
Give me the numbers. 5, maybe? No.
no, that's...
The medical record. Second.
Ah.
Up on the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, so 51.
51.3 for John and 53.2 for Lucy.
Give me just a second. I'm just writing it down. 53.2. Okay, you good. I got
Actually,
it in
I'm
chat.
gonna screenshot this because it looks like it's also got the weights of their body parts.
It does.
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat.
Thank you. Okay. No. Oh, there's a number on here. 51 kg. What's this? Is this the weight? Well, we were just stacking body parts on it, so it makes sense that it'd be the weight. Okay. So... Let's see. Start with something small. No.
Do the the chests.
Yeah, because that'll get the...
That'll get the decimal.
Yeah.
And we just need the heart. No, not the heart.
Not the heart.
Which, the waist and the leg is what I was gonna say.
Well, which one should I swap back? The arm?
Yeah.
And then we...
The waist and the leg. So the waist and the left leg.
Okay, so... Ooh, that's really close.
Yeah, now you need just 1 more pound.
We've needed 1 more pound for the last 3 swaps, I think.
Yeah.
Well, now you could swap the swap the leg and the arm. That'd be really funny looking.
Hold on, I'm just gonna reset it.
Yeah.
Literally, what happens if you switch every body part?
I do kind of want to see. Oh! Okay then.
I guess we'll never know.
No, that was when I swapped.
It solved the puzzle!
Yeah!
It was all the body parts except for the heart, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, Junpei, I just heard something. It came from John's operating table. We better check it out.
Is this a trans allegory?
Of course.
It could be. If we want it to be. It's an old operating
let's
table.
put a poll up on Twitter.
Your heart doesn't change if your body changes.
The medical mannequin is lying on it. Okay.
No.
Hey, Junpei, look at the
It's
scale.
an the Somnium Files reference.
Huh? The lid on the scale. Hey, it opened. Oh, I get it. It must have opened because we matched John's weight to what's on the chart. And we have the key!
The key! We can leave now.
It was this way.
Hey, hold on.
Junpei stopped, about to put the key into the doorknob.
Oh, what's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh?
Junpei turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, god damn it. Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go
Wrong
get her.
missing sibling. I realized I couldn't say their last name yet,
Sure thing.
and that just ruined the joke. It's fine.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
It wasn't the best joke, but it was something. An attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stock still and said nothing.
Hey, Clover, can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he'd said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly, her mouth opened and she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Suddenly, the operating room felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier.
Let's just get out of here. We've got the key. Let's use it. That cool with you?
Yeah.
Clover nodded, almost imperceptibly. Still, Junpei was glad to see she was at least somewhat responsive.
Then it's time to go.
He put his hand on her shoulder and guided her to the preparation room. As they arrived at the door, she suddenly stopped.
I'm sorry.
What was this? Why was she apologizing? Junpei wasn't sure what to make of her. Was she emotionally unstable because her brother had gone missing?
I'm really sorry. Just forget everything I told you, okay? Don't worry about it. Really. I mean it.
How could anyone pretend not to hear something like that? But something told him this wasn't the time to press the issue. Junpei gave her the warmest, kindest smile he could manage.
All right.
Thank you.
Her smile was weak. It was almost painful to watch.
Damn, what the hell took you guys so long?
Seven looked up as they walked into the room, clearly irritated.
You playing doctor in there or something?
Maybe. Jealous?
Guys. Seven avoided answering the question. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
All right, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, all right?
Fine then.
He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it. He felt it unlock. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was it.
All right, let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, you know, get a little excited?
We're in a life or death scenario right now.
Not really.
For
He's
real.
too busy
And
thinking
somebody's
about
missing.
alcohol and feet.
Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway.
My brother might be dead.
I'm so mad we didn't get the bed dialogue.
Yeah.
Apparently we needed to turn around and examine the bed from a different angle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. Clover had told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead, and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
Sorry, we're talking about your brother having gay sex.
You know what we could do?
Yeah.
Whenever we decide that we've done enough for the day, we can go back and specifically go to that room.
We
Oh
can't
my
do
God.
that.
Yeah.
We must.
They left the operating room. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
There too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
The final door was hidden in a corner of the hall.
May as well give it a try.
Junpei grabbed the handle. As he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover.
Jumpy!
Huh?
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa? And Lotus too?
They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys, could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Look on the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway. A map.
A map of the ship's interior?
Whoa. Never
It
seen
says
that
C
before.
deck.
So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7 and door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
I see.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
yeah.
They moved as one for the
Oh,
door.
almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off of the wall, put it in his pocket, and followed the others. 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
Slowly, all 5 nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. And we are back.
Yippee!
They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would
We're
be.
back.
Back at the hospital
In
beds.
the hospital room.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying.
Blah, 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 blah.
The
Time
key?
to skip.
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Oh, the solar system keys. We found a couple more in the laboratory in the kitchen. Here, the Earth key and the Saturn key card.
Mm-hmm. And with that, she pressed them into Junpei's hand. The metal key had the Earth symbol on it, and the key card had the Saturn symbol on it.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Yeah. On it.
I mean, yeah, you don't have fucking pockets.
Yeah. Junpei felt slightly less than honored.
Ah, we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Earth key that Lotus just gave me. And the Saturn key card that Lotus said was in the kitchen.
Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
Yep. And going through all of this again.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yada yada yada.
We're gonna make Junpei be an idiot again. We have no idea what we're doing here.
No, that's a good question.
Junpei looked off into the distance thoughtfully.
Thoughtfully.
There is not a single thought going on in that brain. Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I can't believe this. You guys followed me here, but you don't even know why. Junpei, you've got the solar system keys, don't you?
Yeah,
He did. He pulled them out.
the Saturn key card.
I have to
and the
wonder,
Earth key.
where did she keep them when she had
in
them?
the classic boob pocket.
That's what I was
Obviously.
thinking. Why can't she just keep them there?
Because Junpei protagonist powers.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the one with the inventory menu. Junpei didn't see what they had to do with anything, though. Both he and Santa were completely lost. Fortunately, June took pity on them.
Don't you remember the elevator? On C deck, where we are now. There was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think.
You dumb bitch.
So the two keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right.
June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search should be brief, blah blah blah. And unfortunately, we are not doing the funny conversation this time. June was probably afraid of the fact that they could only go down. She was afraid because the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on A or B decks, blah blah blah.
Come to think.
Yeah, so it just...
Yeah, so it basically just skips the naughty conversation.
Yep. Blah 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 blah.
If you went this route, you would never find out through very
Probably
specific means that Junpei was a bottom.
And only just finding this out now.
Yeah.
Oh no. Don't be so casual about something like that.
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here.
Did it stop me just because he said we'd die instead of we'd get wet up there?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Okay, to be fair, if you did this the opposite way, it would have been so much funnier. Like you did it the normal way the first time and then did the spicy way the second time, and then did the skip option. You just suddenly hear him, we'd get wet up there.
Oh, God. Oh, okay. We found.
Yeah.
Meat.
Meat.
Meat. We didn't find a pork note though.
No.
No pork note run.
No pork note. All pork note run 100% completion rate.
999 speed run pork note percent.
Pork note percent. Oh god.
Alright, well, I guess I have to change my name now.
Into pork note percent.
Pork note percent.
Yes, of course Zero is still on the ship with us. Of course
I
he
have
was.
to change my name too.
That was obvious.
But I don't.
Zero was somewhere on the ship, but
there we go.
Junpei had.
Well, now we have It's Hard and Wet up there.
Did we kill Beto?
Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Junpei had no idea where. Junpei mumbled to himself, lost in thought. I just looked over and I saw the name change to Wet up there.
You're welcome.
Where could Zero be hiding?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again,
Your sins are crawling across your face.
Again, he heard the ghosting, moaning noise. Blah blah blah. Say that's crazy. Zero isn't one of us.
That's crazy.
Excuse me.
Isn't the ship going to sink in a few hours? If Zero was here with us, he'd be putting himself in danger. Why the hell would he do something like that? There's no motive.
Clover looked up at Junpei and her face fell.
You don't believe me.
Her eyes were so pitiful. The moment Junpei's met them, he felt his heart tighten. He didn't think what he said was wrong, but perhaps the way he'd said it had been. He'd been too insensitive. Clover had just lost her brother. His death would have been bad enough, but she'd also seen the blasted wreck of his body. Junpei barely knew him, and the sight had been enough to make him sick. What Clover had felt, he couldn't begin to imagine. In the mental state she must have been in, it was understandable that she would look at those around her with suspicion. She felt everyone was against her. The least Junpei could have done was try to understand what she was feeling. He felt ashamed of what he'd said. Perhaps he thought, I should apologize. But before that apology could begin...
Clover,
Clover, I understand what you're feeling. You don't feel that you can trust any of us.
Ace had beaten Junpei to the punch. As he spoke to Clover, his face was calm and friendly.
But you have to understand, the more we distrust one another, the further we fall into our true foe's trap. Zero was the one who did those horrible things to your brother. Do you want to let yourself be manipulated by someone who would do such a horrible thing?
Clover didn't answer. She didn't even look at Ace. The whole time, her eyes were on Junpei. He could feel Clover's eyes boring into him. They were the color of a deep winter lake. Junpei saw no suspicion in them, only sadness. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. 7. Clover, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
7 and Clover remained silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
Our next destination is Mercury.
But maybe
Might
you
be a
and
good
June
place
should check
to
it
cut
out
it off
first and
then,
then report back
for
to
tonight.
us.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
This might be a good place to cut it off then for the night before we get into more of this bullshit.
Yeah, because we still need to finish another couple of rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will save.
And we can go back and find the bed.
Yes.
Oh yes, let's go get the bed first.
Yeah. All right. We
Bed,
want to do
bed,
that on
bed,
camera
bed,
still.
Bed.
If you want to.
Sure,
Don't you
why
wanna show
not?
people? Don't you want to show your fans the thing that we promised them?
True.
Some of the most gay dialogue you hear from Kate. I hope it has dialogue in the revisit.
It
I
should.
don't know.
It should.
Because that's an integral part of the
Yeah.
doohickey.
Okay, so we were supposed to turn and get it from a different angle.
Yeah.
Bed.
Yeah, not that angle.
No.
No, that angle. That's the right angle.
A bed with a
It is?
canopy. I've seen things
Yeah.
like this in movies.
Oh, maybe we have to do this first.
Yeah, probably.
You just have to like click it like 4 times at least.
So, a bed.
Oh.
Junpei, I cannot help but notice your interest in the bed. Perhaps you are hoping we will spend time on it together. you don't say stuff like. That's not a mental image I want. Are you sure it's not?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Are you positive, Junpei?
Oh, hold on.
It's a bed. I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea, so I'm just gonna leave it alone, okay?
God.
And
Oh,
that's all he has to say. Okay.
There we go.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, so with that done, I'll see you guys next time.